The first thing that I'm going to do in this video is we have made quite a number of adjustments to this formula, and I want to apply those changes to all the existing cells that I have here. So I'm going to click and drag that up. The numeric values aren't going to change, but I'm copying the cell. Okay, I'm copying the formula that is inside there. Now you can see, okay, everything is updated. Excel, of course, I have relative referencing here. So Excel updates all of those references for me automatically. That's why the numeric values aren't changing. But what that allows me to do is at any point here now, I could change 950. Okay, and that new, all the new functionality that I just created, that is carried across to all of these. Even down here, this could be 9 and 4. Okay, so that's all functioning properly. When you're working on, functions like this and you realize you're going to have to do something with different outcomes, different possible outcomes, then remember to do that, because I have seen people, and I think I've done it myself, where you fix the formula in one instance and then you don't fix it in the rest, or you copy an older version that doesn't have the updates in it and basically mess things up. So whenever you make modifications like that, a lot of times, if we're tweaking things, we want to see how it's going to work. We'll have several cells with different stages of our formula. Just make sure that the one that you're working on, when you get it to work right, that you do go back and copy it over the existing numbers. Okay, so the next thing we want to deal with is the fact that some numbers are going to be over 1,000, and we want to get that comma in there. So here's what we'll do with that. We're going to do a nested if function. And this is where things get even trickier. For our true and false values that we have here in our if function, we can put basically any legal argument in there, including another if function. So let's take a look. If the value in F7 is less than 10, go ahead and replace and change those, those last two digits to 99. That's great. That's if it's true. Now, if it's not true, that means that the value is over. It's either 10 or greater. And that being the case, the next test that we need to do is the value greater than 999 999 and 99 cents? Is it greater than that? Or the better way to say that would be, is it less than 1,000? We do that with another if statement. Now the thing is, we have to match this up. This is going to be kind of contingent on something that was done a step before this, and that is where the calculation is made here and the formatting is made. So we're going to have to go back to this cell, and we're going to have to add an if statement here. And for this one, what we're going to do is test if, opening parenthesis, if F7 is less than 1,000, and here is our result if true. Just go ahead and do things like you normally did them. Okay, we'll skip ahead and put our comma. Now we're at the value if false. The value if false in this case is going to be very similar, with the exception of the formatting that we're going to do here. We're going to make a little bit different formatting. So in this case, text round, we're going to put everything, type it just like it is. F7 times 150%. And our 2. Now here's where we make things a little bit different. Dollar. And we're going to do 0, 0, 0, 0. That's basically how we want it formatted, and a closing parenthesis there to close that off. But then we need one more closing parenthesis to match up with the one at the very beginning for the if statement. Okay, so again, in review, here's what's happening. If F7 is less than 1,000, then go ahead and do things like you did before with the formatting that we used already. But if it's not, then we're going to change the formatting, and we're going to add in that thousands. Let's go ahead and hit enter. All right, that gives us the ever coveted comma, and let's see what happens if we're 999. Uh-oh. Looks like we've got an issue here. By the time we do the math, yes, this value is less than 1,000. But by the time we do the math and add that extra 50% on top of that, we've got the 4 digits there that need, to be, they need to have that comma in there. So we're going to have to lower this number here for our test. Let's lower it to 750 and see what that gives us. Okay, we've got the comma now, but let's start going down. 990, 800, 600. Okay, that's working just like it's supposed to. 749. Uh-oh, that one's not working. So what we've got to find out is what is the lowest value here that's going to push us into the $4 place range. So let's do 740, 730, 720, getting closer, 710, 700, 680. I'm going to jump pretty good there, and 660. Okay, we're looking like we're real close. 665, 667, 666. Ooh, that's kind of scary considering we're dealing with money, right? 666 and 50 cents and 80. Okay, it's real close here. 666 and 70. 666 and 66 cents. Let's do it that way. Ooh, okay. So there is our magic number, is actually 666 and 67 cents. That's pretty much the number that we're looking for. So we're going to go back and change this. 666 and 67 cents. So if F7 is less than $666.67, then we're going to just do things like normal. If it's not, though, it's going to be greater. And in that case, okay, so now it's working exactly how we need it to. 666 and 67 cents puts us into the 4-digit range. And that automatically carries over and is working with the function here. Now remember, we have made a change here. That's kind of creepy, so I'm not going to leave that to 666. But we have made a change here to our formula, and these other cells don't have that change. So we need to make sure that we copy that up and replace all of those so that they have the same functionality. So at this point, we can do something for $1, and it just affects the 99 cents part. We can do it for $10, and it'll affect the ones position. We can do it for $100, and it still is only affecting the ones position. Then we can do it for $1,000, and it adds the comma in there for us. And that is about as tricky as it gets with functions and nesting functions, as long as you can conquer the concept of being able to substitute these values here, these static values, with other functions. Then you've basically got it conquered. Same thing with the if function. If you can replace this true with, instead of an actual static value, you can replace it with another formula. You can replace it with another if statement if you want. And if you can conquer that concept, then you're on your way to being able to do practically anything inside of Excel. The next series of videos is going to deal with some other very popular functions. We're going to focus on some text functions for a little bit. We're not going to use all these functions inside of the project that we're working on right now, but they're all important enough that I do want to show you what they are, how to use them, and what type of situation you might use them in.